was being used to commit fraud. Beijing municipal government says air purification systems will be installed in some of the city's schools and kindergartens. The city government allocated money to help the schools cover the cost of installation. The announcement did not provide more details on the plan. Beijing once again extended its orange alert for heavy air pollution as smog is expected to persist until the weekend. Schools and other education institutions in the city have been ordered to stop outdoor activities. Russia announced on Friday that it's withdrawing its aircraft carrier and some other Russian warships from the waters of Syria as the first step in a drawdown of its forces in the war-torn Mideast country. According to Russian officials, the Admiral Kuznetsov carrier and accompanying ships are to be the first to leave. The military reduction came after Russia and Turkey brokered a nationwide ceasefire in Syria last week in the latest attempt to end nearly 6 years of civil war in the Middle East country. A Malaysian official says the ongoing search for missing Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 has entered its final lap. Police in Bangladesh. Filipino significant and remarkable achievement as part of President Rodrigo Duterte. The drug evidence nearly 2,500 kilograms of meth, known locally as shabu, the primary drug of choice among abusers in the country. The main opposition party continues to top opinion polls, holding at 40%. Shows that the Minju Party is in first place, while the People's Party and the ruling Sayanuri Party are tied for second at only 12%. The new Conservative Party, composed of defectors from the ruling party, came in fourth place with only 6%. Another Chelsea player is set to join the Chinese Super League. 29-year-old John Obi Michael signed for Chinese Super League club Tianjin Teda on a free transfer. Michael's not made a single appearance for Antonio Conte's side so far this season in the Premier League. Michael's Chelsea teammate Oscar joined Chinese Super League rival Shanghai SIPG on a record deal earlier this month. The other high-profile signing for China is Shanghai Shenhua's acquisition of Argentine striker Carlos Tevez from Boca Juniors. Spending by Chinese clubs has raised concerns among world football and prompted Chinese authorities to announce plans to reduce spending and check extravagance in the top flight. For CRI News, this is Shane Bigger.
I'm so bored. I wish there was a better way to spend my time.
I know. It's just I can't find any enriching entertainment these days. What's the deal?
Hi, my name is Brian Price.
And I'm He Yang. Today we're here to talk to you about Roundtable.
If you're suffering from a lack of enriching entertainment, Roundtable is for you.
Here at RT, we bring you top-notch research concerning hot topics here in China, and we do it in a fun and insightful way.
Curious? What are you waiting for? Tune in now using Apple Podcasts or our easy
insightful analysis, bold comments, friendly debates. Find all that on Roundtable, an in-depth discussion on hot topics in China, only on Easy FM.
Hello, everybody. Roundtable coming to you live from Beijing. Our very own, the sweet and cute and sometimes sharp if she wants to show her claws, Miss Niu Honglin.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Yay, nice to have you here. I feel really good, and what makes me feel extra good is we have a very special man in the studio. He was here a day ago, and 2 days ago-ish. Really popular response as our listeners have sent in, so he's invited back Mr. Stu.
I'm back by popular demand. All right? Yes. I'm very happy to be here.
Great. And Situ is a familiar face, as you must have seen him on the internet on this show called The C4 Show. 别叫我憨豆. Did I handle it correctly?
That is correct, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for that little plug. Excellent.
No worries, and I'm happy to put my Beijing twang, a little Heyang touch into it, so 别叫我憨豆. You can search that up on the internet, and it is one show that you want to check out if you want a little bit of happiness in your life.
Light entertainment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also you learn a little bit of something.
Just a little.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. A lot to anticipate.
Ending on the left.
But when I saw this news, I was quite surprised by it because I didn't think it was an outdated policy or outdated mode of behaviour. I just thought it was something that nobody follows here in China, or especially in Beijing. Sorry, because in Beijing it doesn't seem that people stick to this rule, let's call it, and I was quite surprised to find that actually the rule is incorrect, or the behaviour is incorrect, and that it damages the escalators. Because obviously in Britain, in London, which is the only place with the subway, they really tell you, please stand on the right, because everyone's so busy, they always have to brush past you on the left. So we're kind of taught to think that this is the only way, and we don't ever really think about the safety aspects.
Yeah, that's interesting. And also, when I read news reports on this issue, at first it surprised me a little bit too, as I hardly think that our fellow Chinese compatriots or passengers in subways have developed the habit of standing always on the right hand of the escalator. But as I try to recollect my memory, actually I think during rush hour, as I take the subway, I do see a lot of people, sometimes they're being directed or not, stand on the right hand of the escalator, sort of in a row as the escalator goes down and up, and then leaves the left hand side for people to walk up and down.
My experience would be during rush hour, this rule goes out the window. Everyone just stands there. But in fact, these people that don't let people pass on the left, they were right all along. Because according to this research, you have to stand on the left in order to prevent damage to purely the right side. So they were right all along. They weren't being rude. They were in the know.
And I kind of understand why people don't do that during rush hours without knowing this new study or new found of this regulation. That is because everyone's busy. It's not like I can stand there and let others pass by me. I'm also very busy, and if according to certain research, you can see that if people are using both sides of the escalators, actually the capacity of the escalator is bigger. That is to say, more people are saving time, instead of some people using the left hand to rush by and to save their time. And to be frankly, how much time can you save by doing that?
Only about 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah, so I think safety concern is more of a priority here. And I've tried to see is there any comments on the internet, and the funniest one I encounter is, to an extreme stand, actually escalator can be seen as a transportation vehicle, a very slowly moving vehicle, but it is moving, and you're not allowed or encouraged to run on any vehicles. Try to run on a boat or on a car.
食卫生、睡眠时间充足等。总而言之，希望老人们在旅游时不仅能饱览大好风景，而且还能获得身心的和
for some people what to do right now. So for our listeners out there today, and I know we've got listeners not only in Beijing, Shanghai, many places in China, and also across the globe. What's the advice for people?
Well, according to the advice from the experts, it's basically don't walk on the escalators. Just stand either side. Do what you want. Just don't walk on them.
Revoke an old habit or code of conduct, and that's true probably in the UK, but that's
still following this code of behaviour, still standing on the right, whereas places like Shanghai, Guangzhou, and obviously Nanjing, they've revoked it. So it's interesting that Beijing hasn't done anything yet about it, or hasn't said it explicitly.
because later on we found all these new studies and giving you ideas that it could be dangerous. And it reminds me of a Chinese ancient philosopher Zhuangzi, and his idea of governing the world is by doing nothing. be some dangers that could come out of it. And with the Beijing subway, or so many subways around China, and we know there is huge traffic every day, maintenance is definitely, it should be on, top priority for the subway authorities. And I think that is the most critical point, that the appropriate and relevant government organs should take up their responsibility, for sure. But I think this is a really interesting example and a case of a seeming civilized behavior not really always delivering the best kind of results that people want to be. And there are, after some research actually, there has been a few other examples as such that sometimes I realize in everyday life you can just not take the face value of things. Do you know where I'm alluding to, guys? Yeah, of course. We're talking about the Earth Hour, aren't you? The Earth Hour is kind of a worldwide movement. At first they take place in France and maybe London. People from the organization called Worldwide Fund encourages individuals.
途中旧病复发，患有慢性疾病者应征得医生同意，外出前切不可忘记带这些药品。其次，老年人在途中饮食宜清淡，多吃新鲜米面水果，不食没底儿的食品和饮料，不食未经煮熟的海产野味。对各地的风味小吃，一次不宜吃太多。再有，老年人腿脚不灵，不太动了，因此旅游时最好有家人或好友相伴。老年人旅游也不可强求，应根据自己的身体条件谨慎选择旅行线。最好是挑选旅行强度小、体力消耗少的项目。此外，不宜选择温差过大的地区旅行。最后，旅行归来时应及时保健和健康身体。
Refrigerator, which was filled with ice, because that's just what refrigerators do, produce extra ice, or I don't know. It's just good for the... really good-hearted people I like to think that way. You want to do something good for the planet or for other people, and then you end up not really doing much good. Another example I can think of is some of our Chinese fellow folks like to set free of animals. And but when you set free these animals, maybe snakes or turtles, in the wrong place, and then the animals die or people get you didn't anticipate this coming, or some people anticipated it coming but still participate in these kind of activities.